Hello and welcome. My name is Yvonne Kennedy. I'm the Healthy Campus Coordinator at the Atlantic Technological University Sligo, ATU for short. So you've made it to session 5 of this wonderful programme supporting the whole campus approach to Healthy Campus. In this session, which is called Wheels in Motion, we're going to look at how you can implement a Healthy Campus programme at your institute. So let's get started. We'll start by doing an overview of what we're going to cover in this particular session. The idea behind this module is to get you set up so that you can start implementing Healthy Campus and your particular institute. So we're going to look briefly at what the Healthy Campus process is. We're looking at how you can get started, identify the resources that you might need. We're going to ask the question, well, what does a Healthy Campus look like? And then we're also going to look at communication and awareness. Obviously, communicating the message behind Healthy Campus and bringing awareness to what Healthy Campus means is critical as you roll this out in your institutes. So let's take a look at the Healthy Campus process. At this stage, you're probably very familiar with this, but we'll do a little quick overview anyway. So the Healthy Campus process is cyclic and provides a how-to when implementing the framework. It is an inclusive, coordinated approach to improving health and well-being, involves a number of steps. A commitment by senior management to the process by signing the charter, coordination, which involves appointment of a Healthy Campus coordinator, establishing a steering group, the consultation phase, which is probably one of the biggest parts, and that's looking to see what is available in your campus, what you might already have, and you will always be doing consultations. This isn't just a once-off thing. You look at creating your Healthy Campus strategy maybe, you might look at creating your action plan for the year, but you're always going to be creating and you're always going to be changing what you create each year. Then we move on to the celebrate and continue. Celebration of any milestones is really important, but evaluation of what we've already done is also important. Got to learn from what went well and what did not go so well. So let's take a look at the commit phase of the Healthy Campus process. The success of Healthy Campus requires commitment from senior management at your campus. They must also consider how the Healthy Campus is integrated into governance, strategy and structure. And that is going to vary from campus to campus, but you must get buy-in and commitment from the very top. You could ask the question, is Healthy Campus included in your institute's strategic plan? At the moment, ATU are just about to release their strategic plan, and we do have a Healthy Campus commitment in that strategic plan. Signing the Healthy Campus Charter is just the starting point, but then there must be a commitment to resources, both people and budget. So the next phase of the Healthy Campus process is to coordinate. And the first part of that is the appointment of a Healthy Campus coordinator. This is a key role to oversee the implementation of the Healthy Campus process. And I would like to see each of our HEIs actually appoint a Healthy Campus coordinator whose sole role is to manage the Healthy Campus process. At the moment, sometimes the role is tagged onto another role. The roles are often part-time or maybe something that's only for a couple of hours a week. But for real sustainability, I would love to see that each HEA or higher education institute would actually appoint a full-time Healthy Campus coordinator. The next thing for you is the establishment of the Healthy Campus Steering Group. Again, a really important group because this is where all of the ideas and the strategies and the direction, these are the people that will help mould and develop how that will look. It's important that it's chaired by a senior management team member and that there is a direct line back to the president as to what your group is doing. And I would advise that you get as broad a membership from across the services and disciplines. Ensure there's a good mixture of students, staff and researchers as well. Here in Sligo, And across ATU, we are currently looking at setting up a brand new Healthy Campus steering group. Obviously, since our merger, we have gone from individual campuses to 9 campuses now, spread across the West and Northwest. So on to the next phase of the Healthy Campus process. And I've put all of these together because at this stage, you've probably gone into these various things in more detail in previous sessions. So I just want to recap on them here. You will need to consult with your campus population to identify and prioritize what the key elements or pillars will be for your campus. The elements or pillars of a healthy campus are going to vary from campus to campus. So the healthy campus priorities for a campus based in city centre Dublin or Galway or Cork are actually going to be different from the priorities for a campus like one of ours based in Letterfrat in Galway. When you identify what the key elements are for your campus, you will then be able to create sustainable and suitable action plans that are bespoke to your campus. You must remember to consider the health and well-being priorities of the whole campus population. So what I mean by that is you must consider staff and students alike, and also the communities that you're based in. Take time to celebrate. Always on for celebrations, and celebrating your initiatives and the success of your initiatives is such an important thing. I would always advise get plenty of pictures, especially of projects that students have been involved in, because they can use them as talking points in their future careers. I'd advise always use the new Healthy Campus Toolkit during all of these phases, but in particular it's really useful as you go through the consult and create phases of the Healthy Campus process, and also when you're looking at evaluating how things are going for you. So getting started, that most important thing. How do I get started? So I'll start off by saying that Healthy Campus is not something that needs to be started from scratch, as it's quite likely that you already have initiatives, policies already that exist on your campus that align really well with the Healthy Campus ideology. You should think of Healthy Campus as an umbrella for all things health and well-being. So I'm hoping this slide will give you an idea of what I mean by the Healthy Campus umbrella. So a lot of what you're already doing on campus will fall under that umbrella of what is a healthy campus. As you can see, this is quite a busy slide, but go through it in your own time. And you'll see that, a lot of the new frameworks, like the framework for consent, the National Student Health, Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Framework, they all fall under that Healthy Campus umbrella. So we're already doing a lot of work in these areas, and you can capture it under that Healthy Campus umbrella. A lot of what we're doing under equality and diversity are also captured under the Healthy Campus umbrella. A lot of the Healthy Ireland policy, like Tobacco Free Ireland, the National Sexual Health Strategy, the Drug and Alcohol Strategy, they all fall under the Healthy Campus umbrella, and they all apply to our colleges. Things like staff wellbeing, psychological risk, promotion of healthy lifestyles, all being driven by different types of legislation that you might not consider as being, say, healthy campus, but they are all relevant. And then also looking at other things that are happening on our campus, like Green Campus, Smarter Travel, they all feed in under that Healthy Campus umbrella. I've used this slide at a lot of my management presentations because I find it's a real quick snap of what is already in place or what could already be in place if we go out and start joining the dots up. But it does mean too that you don't have to start from scratch. This isn't like, it is a new framework, but you do not have to go and set up a specific functional department whose only job is to do Healthy Campus. Yes, the resources are important for coordinating Healthy Campus, but a lot of the resources are already in place. It's a matter of capturing them. And as I said, I have found this particular image really good when you only get a couple of minutes to go into a management team and present your case. So getting started, well, how do I identify what internal resources exist? Here's just a quick guide. And you can start by identifying and mapping any of the following. I'll go through some of them. You know, what amenities do you have on your campus? Do you have walking trails? Do you have cycling facilities? Do you have water stations? You might have them, but do people know about them? So even bringing awareness about those amenities could be a project that you might do in your first year. What activities do you have on campus? Do you have yoga classes? Do you have things like Connect cafes? Do you have support groups, walking, running groups, singing groups? All of them fall under that Healthy Campus umbrella. And again, in that first year, part of your work might be just to find out who those various groups are and advertise them. What work has been done on other government frameworks, like the suicide prevention one, the consent framework? Also, is there a green campus? What work has been done under mental health forums, EDI groups, consent teams? What roles on campus already have a health and wellbeing brief? Students' union, our health services, our gyms. What courses do you have in your institute that teach health promotion? And what research work is being conducted in your institute? So the first step really is joining up the dots. And really in your first year, that might be your first action. So another key thing to, I suppose, the sustainability of a healthy campus and the sustainability of your programs is how can you take opportunities to integrate healthy campus initiatives into the curriculum? It is key to long-term success, and I think we're been working in the area of healthy campus here in Sligo anyway for the last probably 10 years, and I feel that our sustainability and our success has been as a result of integrating various initiatives into the taught programs. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail of how we've done that here. But look out for programs that you have that have a health promotion element. Are you teaching nursing? Are you teaching doctors, medicine, veterinary, whatever it is? A lot of these courses already have a health promotion element. So how can you tap into that? So a little bit more about how we've, some of the projects we've done here in ATU Sligo. So each year, students, as part of their course assessment work, will work with me to identify a health promotion initiative that can be run on campus. They take full responsibility for all aspects of the initiative, from concept to design. They organise the logistics, they do up the posters, they run the event, and then they're also involved in gathering feedback and doing some quantitative and qualitative research. My role, or your role, is to mentor and provide support in practical ways. Sometimes that might be a budget, sometimes that might be getting them a place with the management team to speak about their initiative. But it's very rewarding, and very rewarding for the students as well. And here's some examples of work that we've done with pre-nursing course. And the students, they take up residence at our Healthy Campus Noticeboard, and they run a lot of their events from that space. So they might design posters for initiative and put them up there. But it's a busy spot, and we do this in semester 2 of every year. It is a win-win scenario, as the students get to run a real life initiative and you get the benefits of a bespoke program. I also find that in particular for the student type initiatives, if they're peer led, they're often better received by the students themselves. And in recent years, we've also started to work with our creative design students and our wonderful Healthy Campus mural, which I think is you be an introduction to it as a case study on this program, was a wonderful example of a collaboration between Healthy Campus and the creative design students. And for them, you know, the whole process of design through to installation, you know, it meant for a very meaningful project for them. And I suppose in the days of AI, any project that can be done away from a computer is not such a bad thing. They can be a low-cost alternative. So, for example, when our pre-nursing students, when they need to have hands-on experience of doing blood pressure, cholesterol checks. So we set them up on the concourse. They're supervised, but then you can go along and get a little mini medical and get to know what your numbers are. The budget for running that is very small, but you know, obviously, people can pop along to their doctor and get such a test, but we don't always have time. So they can be a low-cost alternative. And especially when budget is small, they are a great idea. I will say it does take time to coordinate, but I think it does really ensure the sustainability of the Healthy Campus ethos, and it embeds Healthy Campus into your culture, and I think key, as I said, to the sustainability of it going forward. So as much as there are internal resources, there are some wonderful external resources as well. And I think no matter what part of the country or the world that you're in, there will always be external resources through various health services and stuff that you can work with and coordinate with. Some of the things that I work along with is I align a lot of our activities with national or international health promotion days, such as World Mental Health Day, which is the 10th of October. Each year we'll always take part in the Smarter Travel Walktober or Marchathon, which runs in October and March each year. We always take part in the Hello, How Are You campaign run by Mental Health Ireland. We take part in the Green Ribbon campaign. But all of these initiatives are up and running, and you just need to take them into your campus and start running them on your campus under that umbrella of Healthy Campus. Look at how can you collaborate with local organisations like Sports Partnership, Park Run, Healthy Cities and Towns coordinators to promote their events, but also getting their expertise onto campus. So we have worked with Sligo Sports Partnership. They've come to campus. They've run Couch to 5Ks initiatives. So they have the expertise and are only dying to get onto campus and show that expertise. And again, it's another low-cost alternative with experts in their field. You should definitely work with health promotion services such as the HSC. They have vast experience. They have wonderful health promotion in all aspects. In particular, over the last few years, we work very close with them in terms of sexual health promotion and other lifestyle related issues like heart health. And in more recent years, we've worked with them to set up an on-campus smoking cessation clinics. And again, you know, a wonderful intervention. The clinics are held here on campus, and anybody, students or staff, can avail of this resource. But again, it's like if it's there, people will come to it. So getting started. So how do you start your first campaign? How do you start your first initiative? I always say pick the low-hanging fruit and get a few wins, because there's nothing like a few wins under your belt to show what it is Healthy Campus can do, and you know, it gets the ball rolling. So I would advise start off with a simple calendar of events for the year ahead. Pick a few events that you want to promote on campus. As I said before, a lot of promotional posters and leaflets will already be available, so you don't have to start from scratch. Align your activities with national and international health promotion days. make the events fun. Look, at everybody loves a bit of fun, and sometimes in modern day there's not an awful lot of fun. So having events on campus that are fun are always great. So music, freebies, games can all add to the excitement of an activity. Work with the Students' Union, Student Health Services, and other services on campus where possible. So you're guaranteed more engagement if the more people that you work with. We work very closely every year with our Students' Union, and I view Healthy Campus really as a platform to showcase other people's work. And I suppose for me, I take that role of Healthy Campus coordinator, and coordinator in particular, as somebody who's pulling people together, providing platforms, and then we all get a win from it. Track engagement where you can. So, management do like to know where you're spending your money. So where you can, you should track engagement, the numbers. But, the other side of that as well, if 10 people come to a mindfulness class and get an awful lot out of it, then I think that's as important as reaching out to 200 people. So numbers aren't always a sign of success either. But I would say do track engagement where you can. And I would always say, ask that question, are there opportunities for formal research? Because that's where the real value lies, and real value lies for us all as we go forward, to show the value of growing this healthy campus culture across all of our HEIs. So the next question I'm going to ask is, well, what does a healthy campus look like? And what a healthy campus looks like for me and for you might vary. It might vary what a healthy campus might look like for a staff member versus a student member versus somebody who's living next door to a big campus. So as you navigate your way through the healthy campus process, you will start to identify what a healthy campus looks like for your institution, and you will start to be able to identify what the key elements or pillars will be for your campus. And this will inform the direction of your institute's Healthy Campus action plan or strategy. When you are looking at your action plan, I would say, make your goal, look at making your goals both fast and smart. And I've included a link there for you to look into what those actually mean. Okay. So now we're going to move on and look at an example, I guess, of what does a healthy campus look like at ATU Sligo. So I did this work back in April 2022. I was doing my master's at the time in workplace health and wellbeing in TUS in Limerick, and I had to do a thesis. So I'm always one for killing two birds with one stone. So we were doing a consultation anyway as part of the Healthy Campus framework, and I needed to do a master's project. So I undertook a project that involved data collection and gathering what people on our campus felt, what they felt was a healthy campus. And these are the 5 elements or pillars that were identified here in Sligo. So people wanted a healthy physical environment, healthy food, healthy social connections, healthy lifestyle supports, and they felt that a healthy campus should be inclusive and accessible. So this particular slide breaks that out a little bit more. So what did people mean by a healthy physical environment? So they felt that there should be tobacco-free zones. They felt that a healthy campus should be sustainable. So a healthy campus should have green flag status, for example. They felt that we should have healthy spaces and places, I suppose this was just after COVID as well, and I think people really wanted places where they could go on campus that were outdoors so they could get some fresh air, but also indoors that were a little bit smaller and a bit more confined than large open canteens. People also identified that a healthy campus should have, where possible, walking tracks that are lit and are accessible, and that we should have cycle facilities. Now, we are very lucky here in Sligo. We do have Bolt electric bikes, and that has actually been a really, really positive healthy campus initiative for us. And I think we're one of the first HEIs to actually bring in electric bikes to campus, and they are very well used. So under healthy food, people said that there should be variety and quality, and also taken into account people's different religious beliefs when it came to food, whether people were vegan, and I suppose so the variety and quality of food is also very important. But it being accessible and affordable also is important. And interestingly enough, as well, people felt that they needed more information around food education. So, like, what constitutes a nutritious meal? And one of the initiatives that we started last year, I suppose, out of the findings from this, is we do have a breakfast club now on campus, um, just once a week at the moment. But at that, we aim to provide students and staff, whoever shows up early in the morning, with a healthy, nutritious breakfast. And we also use those breakfast clubs as an opportunity to, we might do a smoothie club. So we talk to people about what constitutes a good, healthy smoothie. So again, another initiative that came out of this consultation phase. Healthy social connections. People wanted open communication channels, so important channels between management, staff, students. Also the need for social and cultural hubs on our campuses, and the real importance of community partnerships. So working with the various organisations that are in our communities, and also I suppose within that as well, people spoke about the need to volunteer and the importance of volunteering, and instigating that culture among students from maybe first year onwards. Healthy lifestyle supports is quite a broad one, so people would like to see wellbeing classes. They consent workshops are a big part of this. Harm reduction initiatives. So like a lot of your campuses do a lot of work around sexual health and drug and alcohol addiction. And obviously then having health services is critical as well. And I think this is something that is growing and growing, and the needs are growing and growing. So we do have, I know, not enough uh, nursing, doctors, counselling staff on our campuses. But I should point out that all of these services are really in the main only available to students. And, again, are we including staff in that particular service? Probably not. So it is something to think about when we look at healthy lifestyle supports. And then the final one, what do people mean by it must be inclusive and accessible? So they were saying that the access to campus for all, that spaces on campus should be accessible, facilities should be accessible, and all of this needs to be underpinned by policy and management commitment. So for each of these things, these need to be underpinned with a commitment in writing where possible, whether it's in a overall strategy or an actual healthy campus strategy. So now I'm going to share with you some of the practical steps that we have taken here to kind of get communication and awareness on Healthy Campus embedded into what it is we do on a day-to-day basis. So the first thing I would say is establish a central focal point on your campus to promote and advertise Healthy Campus. Get yourself a cool, if you can, notice board, a Healthy Campus stand. I can't underestimate the value of having a physical presence on campus, a place where people can go to run their campaigns, but also just a place where people can come and talk to you about what exactly are you doing at Healthy Campus. And it's where a lot of the ideas are sparked and generated as people walk by. Establish a Healthy Campus landing page on your college's website. You know, it should signpost to services, activities, news, etc. And you know, there are some of our colleges here in Ireland have done some fantastic work in this area. And you know, take a look at their websites, and you'll see what it is you need to aim for in terms of content and layout. And if you go to the HEA Healthy Campus website, I'll include a link to it later, you'll see already the various colleges here in Ireland that have already established Healthy Campus and have already established a web page on their college's website. So again, you don't have to start from scratch. Set up a social media channel. There's a link there to our Instagram account. X or TikTok, I would say the best thing you can do is get your students involved in generating content. They certainly are a lot better at it than I am, but it's another communication tool. And I think when you look at communications, you just have to throw the kitchen sink at it in terms of the more communication and the more communication channels you have, the better. But in terms of social media, definitely if you can get the students involved, I would highly recommend that. You know, if you have college e-zines, magazines, you know, get your initiatives in those. You know, those editorial teams are always looking for, you know, really good news stories, and I think that's a positive way to get your message out there. Attend opening days, have a presence at these events. You know, if you're, you know, if the students know that you exist, that's probably one of the best ways to do it is on an open day. We have a package here on campus called Work Vivo. It's quite new, but if you do have it, it's kind of an internal social media. Or like an internal social media thing, and it's really effective. I would advise probably best to stay away from emails as a means of communication. I think people get so many emails that your story or your advertisement may actually get lost. But I would say do set up a Healthy Campus email address. It's great for inquiries. And especially, you know, if it is your job to get through inquiries, it's nice when they come through to a bespoke email. And take time to celebrate the wins. And in this particular picture is when we got to launch our Healthy Campus mural. I can't say that all of these people came along specifically to launch the Healthy Campus mural, but they did happen to be on campus that day, and I persuaded our president to round them all up for a quick photograph beforehand. But you know, all content and joking aside, it was an opportunity to speak to people in government and are now Taoiseach about the value of Healthy Campus, and you know, any opportunity that you can to do that and have a platform, you should certainly use it. So here is just a little snapshot of activities that we had last year. So activities that involve students and involve staff, some of the various clubs that we have on campus, like the Breakfast Club, We had an initiative where we had students work with Hello, How Are You? We had the Murray Keating Foundation. So as I said, it's the world's your oyster in terms of what you can do, and hopefully this will give you an idea of what you can do simply, and you don't have to be doing 40 events in your first year. Pick 2 or 3 and do them well. But as I said, it's just a little snapshot, and if you go on to our at ATU Healthy Sligo Instagram account, you'll be able to go in and see a lot of the other activities that we've been doing over the years, and feel free to borrow anything that we've done to date. So, conclusion, we're coming to an end. I'd say a healthy campus, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And you can't get everything done straight away. As I said, we're at it here in Sligo for a few years now, and we now have to look at embedding the same healthy campus culture across 9 of our campuses. So in many ways we've come so far, but in many ways we're actually starting from scratch as well. But that is the nature of healthy campus. Healthy campus is never finished. So it is definitely a marathon. Not that I've ever ran a marathon. I've probably ran a sprint a couple of times, but this is the biggest. To run a marathon does seem like quite daunting, but break it off into little chunks and you will get there. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. The first step is definitely the hardest, and hopefully this course has given you some of the tools to take that first step. I will reiterate this, management commitment from the outset is critical. Is there a commitment to people in terms of resources? I can't emphasize that enough. I'd like to see the appointment of healthy campus coordinators across all of our HEIs. It is an important role. It should be your only role, not as part of 500 other roles. And those roles also need suitable supports in place as well. Otherwise, what's going to happen is a lot of us that are in these type of roles for a good number of years and have been double jobbing, we're going to burn out. So it really does need a commitment in terms of people resources. Is there funding for healthy campus initiatives? And look at, there is a general lack of funding anyway from government for the third level sector. So I would like to see more funding coming into the whole area of healthy campus. Have governance structures been put in place? Again, you don't want to find healthy campus sitting under 4 or 5 layers of management. It needs to be up there at the top. Is healthy campus included in your institute strategic plan? A lot of us that are technological universities have all had to develop strategic plans, but every other institute is also in the process of either reviewing or updating their strategic plan. So you need to make sure that you're that voice that gets healthy campus into that strategic plan. So we're coming to an end. Couple of final points. Healthy campus must be a whole campus approach. So we need to delve into those various silos that exist on our campuses and start pulling all of that information and all those working groups out and take them out underneath that healthy campus umbrella. It's important too as well that we consider the health and well-being of our whole campus population. So a lot of resources go into taking care of the health and well-being of our students, but we also need to take care of the health and well-being of our staff. I have something that I say here. I just say what's good for staff is good for students, and what's good for students is good for staff. So it doesn't need to be two separate paths. They should be on the one path. I would say as well that, in recent years, a lot of the money and resources that is currently coming into our colleges is going to take care of the mental health crisis, which is genuinely needed, and certainly in the post-COVID world. But the same type of effort and resources also need to be put into the other elements of Healthy Campus, so that we are not moving forward in a reactive mode, reacting to the next crisis. So for longevity and sustainability, then we also need to see resources and funding put into the environments that our campuses are based in, and making them better places for people to be in, both physically and socially. It is the Healthy Campus movement has gone through great change. As I said, I've been involved now since 10 years, maybe a little bit longer. There's also been, I suppose, globally, a huge amount of growth in the wellbeing area. I think, again, COVID has probably played a part in that. But this is a wonderful opportunity for us to work together for a collective change and have a positive impact on the health and well-being of our institutes and our campuses. I do feel that we have a very unique health setting, and we should be using that opportunity to teach people how to take care of themselves as they move through college. So Healthy Campus shouldn't exist on its own in a little area out here. I like to see it being infused into how we teach, into our modules, and just everything that we do on campuses. Because if we can teach how to take care of ourselves in our 20s, then we are quite likely to be less of a burden to the health system as we grow older. It has been a wonderful privilege for me to be asked to contribute to this particular course. I hope you've enjoyed the journey so far. I look forward to meeting you on the live session. And by all means, reach out to me if you want to speak to me. I do tend to rabbit on a little bit, but I hope you have found this useful, and you're less daunted now as you start your journey into implementing this on your various campuses. So thank you very much, and we will speak soon.